Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Miyuki and this is Let's Make Art, and we letter together as a community and we are coming together to make this fun project. And the quote is, "You're exactly where you need to be." When I was designing this, I had no idea of what was going to be happening with the world right now, but I feel like wherever you are, this is a really good one to come back to center, to create some space for you to make this with me today. So the supplies that we're using, we are continuing with our May box. We're using black paper. You can also do this quote actually if you have any other paper as well. And the pens I'm going to use, I'm going to be using I guess I can use the pencil now. Yeah. I'm going to be using a regular pencil, and then the different pens there are three. This is a silver brush pen. The brand is Zig Fude Biore. There's a silver, there's a gold, and then I'm going to be using the white. Got to bring it back to life. I was using this a lot. Come on, buddy. Hold on, everyone, as I'm on camera.
Yes.
This is how you get it to work sometimes. There we go. See?
Nice.
Isn't that weird? There we go.
Just
you got my
get
trick.
it rolling
So if that
again.
happens to you, it's all good. It's not just you. The white jelly roll. Those are the three pens that we're using. 6 steps. 1 is I'm going to show you how you can lay out this, a similar layout. So we're going to do a grid. Then we're going to do a pencil layout of it. Then we're going to do the lettering. So the first layer of the lettering, that's step 3. Step 4 is the shadow of the lettering. Step 5, I thought I did something.
Sorry.
Step 5 is the outline. So you'll see there's a white outline. And then 6 is the highlights and the fun patterns that we're going to be doing on top. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, use this other side. So the first step is, this is a download that you can get from our website at letsmakeart.com if you would like this exact one. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to guide you through creating this on your black paper. I'm going to use this instead. So if you want, you can use this and you can practice your layout here if you'd like as well. Just know that that's there for you. But I'm going to show you how to do it on here. So the first step is we're going to create the wavy lines. Keenan was laughing at me because I called this project Wavy Long Quote.
It's just a great name.
I was being very literal. And so the first step is, if you'll notice when you're looking, can they see both of these?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're looking at this, is you see that my the lettering isn't on a straight line. It has a fun wave to it. And so to do that is you can pick where you want. I'm going to come a little bit above center and I'm going to draw a wave. Is that dark enough? I can draw darker.
Nope, it looks good. Do you want to pull it to your left, though?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Okay. So there's one wave. And then what I'm going to do also, let's see how I did this. Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to double check how I laid this out. So you're going to draw one, and then what you're going to do is that is the bottom of my first set of letters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between. You can kind of eyeball how much you want it to be. And what that is that's this space in between. So it's the negative space. So this line is going to be the top of my next row. And when I'm drawing it, I'm having a similar space between the entire ones. So that's that one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bottom of exactly. So I'm going to come a little bit down here. You can decide how big you want them. And I'm going to draw another one. And you can decide maybe your waves come the other way. You can choose how you want your waves to go. I made that a little bit higher just to make that so it'll go exactly, and then it'll get smaller as it goes down. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So this is a bottom. And then I'm going to draw the top of my next row. Follow the parallel to that. So that's the top. And then I need to draw the bottom. Let's see, so I did the opposite. So I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter and then come big down here. So again, you can make this your own, like that. And then I need to draw the next line. So those are the 3 sets of lines I would like you to draw. Then from there is I'm going to draw a straight line up from this top line up here. And then I'm going to draw a straight line. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. And this is the top of the UR, so the top of your first row. Like that. And then let's just continue this line there and here. So then that helps me know where to start end to end. And then the next one. And then the opposite of what we did here is I'm going to start here and draw the lines down. And then I'm going to draw a straight line to draw the bottom. So you can, if you want, you can have your bottoms be wavy. I just wanted to have a little bit of contrast and to cap it off. So that's why the top and the bottom is a straight line. Is that visible?
That is satisfying to watch.
Really?
Yes.
I hope that helps to see that this is a way, because when you look at this, you're probably like, how did you, I don't know how to do that. So this is a great way to break it down.
Awesome visual to explain this.
Good.
Because I was concerned for myself. And I wasn't, yeah.
He was concerned for you. Okay, so that is that. Now you are going to use these spaces for your quote. So you can do the same quote as me, you can do your own quote. And I chose to just do a block style lettering for all of this. You can also do a script style if you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just go and I'm gonna use these lines as my guidelines. So there's a top and then the bottom of my letter will hit that one. So when you're drawing this, if you end up, and let's see, if I were to draw this, I'm gonna draw these skinnier because I need it to fit here. So this is kind of more of a little bit of a drawing lesson. You can see how big my O is compared to the rest of this. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller then. So you're just drawing your letters. I like thinking about letters as drawing them rather than just writing how you are used to writing your lettering, because this is a little bit different than your handwriting. So I'm gonna sketch that out. And then when you come here, when you have a cool curve like that, I'm gonna actually curve the bottom of my E as well. And so I'm following those lines. If this takes you a little bit longer and you don't get it on your first try, that's okay. That's the beautiful thing about a pencil. You can erase it. So exactly. So I'm going to follow these lines. So I'm going to make the U very tall and extend that to fill in that space. Exactly where you and then the other thing to think about is the reason why I made this so wide is that, and not such a skinny quote, is that you'll see that you don't want to draw the letters too close together, otherwise, because this, what we're drawing, is the skeleton and the bones of this, and we're going to thicken this letter up. So you don't want to make them so close together. If you have a really long word, I might have one word per row, unless it's a, I don't know what I was going to say.
I'm not sure either.
What was I going to say?
But I liked it.
Do a long word. I don't know. I was thinking two different things in my head. My bad.
Long quote, long word?
I was just going to say if you break it up, because I think, if you have, okay, here's what I was going to say.
Perfect.
If you have a long word and you want it to fit on this entire one, just squish it. So see how I had I know that's a short word. But this is an exercise in, like I was saying, drawing your letters, because I think we get so caught up in thinking this is the way I draw a Y, and that's all it is. So this, for example, looks different than that Y. Can you see that? So that's what I meant by if you can't fit it, try and squish your letters. On the flip side, if you need to fill such a big space and you want to fill it all the way up, then that's when you make your letters wider.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even know if that was what I was going to say, but that was a lesson in itself. So
It helped to have the hand motions.
okay. Now, once you have that all laid out, feel free to pause if you are not there yet. It's okay, don't worry about it. And get that set up for you. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to take my brush pens and I'm simply going to trace. We did the hard part. And did I say to erase? I did say to do that. If you want, you don't have to, but if you want, you can erase the lines. I'm not going to actually. If you want, you can. We can erase them after. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply trace over my pencil lines. Once you do it once and you see it and you think, okay, I want these to be thicker, you're just going to overlap and just make your lines thicker. Now, if you would like to make some of your letters serif letters, what that means, because I realized I did that on the U. Oh, I know when I designed this. So can you see how the U here, these U's look a little bit different than the R, for example, or all the other letters?
Yes.
And the reason why is these serif letters. So serif letters have the line at the ends of them. So I'm drawing a line right there, and then I'm gonna make these a little bit thicker to make them like bricks. We went over this a little bit more in the last project. If you wanted to go over that as well, that's a fun project to do. But that's what serif letters are. So I'm gonna make this a little bit thicker. So you can decide how thick you want your strokes to be. It's totally up to you. Okay, and now the fun part is, or one of the fun parts, is that you are the designer of your project. So I decided when I was doing this that I wanted to make exactly, because I felt like there could be some emphasis on exactly, I made exactly in gold. So that's why I switched colors. You can do the same thing if you would like, but I just want to explain why I switched it up, because I wanted to create some emphasis. So I'm going to do the same thing and make these thicker. Now, what I think we're gonna do is we can speed up and I'm gonna do the rest of this and then I'll meet you back and then we'll do the shadowing. And we're back. Okay, so I did the rest of the quote. I also did a gold circle because I'm going to draw B inside of there. So now that I have that, that is my first layer. Now I am going to draw the shadow. So if you see, I know there's kind of a lot going on, but if you look specifically at UR and U here, actually, I did a shadow. You are exactly you. I did a shadow on all that. So there's a gold shadow here and there's a silver shadow here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a side. So this you can do as well. Pick either the right or the left side. For this one, I picked the right side. So what that means is that my light source is shining here. It's hitting this Y and casting a beautiful gold shadow on the right side. So I'm going to draw the shadow. Instead of on the last project, I had a little bit of space in between. I'm now hugging the letter, so I'm drawing directly next to the silver line. Move that. And it's gonna look, it's cool. It's gonna look a little, oh, I need the serif on here. It might look a little messy at first, but we're gonna outline it so it'll clean it up. So don't worry too much about it, about making it a perfect line. So I'm just swooping. You can decide how thick you want your shadow to be. I'm drawing that, so I'm following the outline. And then I'm gonna switch colors and do silver here. So I'm doing the opposite color. The right side. Sometimes I have to think about it, and it's okay if you added an extra shadow. Just another line. Now. Oh, yep, like that I added extra line. It's all good. So the cool thing about this and all these different ways that I was telling you, one of the ways to make your lettering a little bit different and pop out is by either changing the color, adding a shadow is another way. So this is how you're becoming the designer of your own quote. Okay, now, this is gonna be the fun part. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to now draw the outline. So I'm gonna take my white jelly roll and I'm going to outline the silver part. So I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it on camera.
Give those sharp edges.
Yes.
Do you want to pull that down a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna outline. Oh, you know what I didn't do, which is okay. If you had watched the last video, which was serif with home letters, I was showing how on the serif part, I drew a transitional serif, which just was a more rounded serif. On this one, I didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
But it's okay. They're both great. I just wanted to point that out if you're wondering why I didn't do that. So this is gonna be a little bit more of a time-consuming part of this, but it's also very therapeutic. So maybe we're gonna zoom, but this is a great time just kind of get in the zone. Maybe put some good music on and just trace. So I'm just gonna continue to trace the outline of my letters. We're back. That was a trick. So I outlined the entire quote in my white jelly roll. And then also, if you saw, I took my small eraser from my mechanical pencil, or if you just have a pencil, I just used this small eraser and just erased the pencil lines. I would urge not to use a big eraser for this and do the whole thing, because you just don't want to smear the markers. So I would just use a small eraser. Now, final step. I am going to add the highlights. So if you look at you, exactly, and you, might be hard to see on the silver, but I added a fun kind of embellishment. And what that is, let me do it on here so it's probably darker. Cool?
Cool.
Okay, I'm just gonna draw a dot, and then I'm gonna draw a line, and then another line. And that's just you can do dots the whole way, you can do lines the whole way. It's just a fun added, like I said, embellishment to these letters just to make it a little bit different that I wanted to add to it. Just drawing a line. And I only did it once on every letter. If you want, you could do it on the whole thing. But I just use it more as a highlight, but it just has a dot in it. And I wanted to highlight you and you. On the silver, on the camera, you might not be able to see it.
You can see it on the side cam.
Okay. Fun. Now, last thing I just want to say before we go is looking at this, it's interesting because this was my original one. This one is the one I just did on camera. And I just wanted to say that, I don't know if you can tell, Keenan, but the coloring, this is a little bit lighter. Like this, I don't know, this gold feels a little bit darker on here.
The one on the left?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Maybe now I see it.
So it's super light, and I just want to call this out, not because there's a right or a wrong. All I want to say is that if you want to make it darker, just simply add more color to it. Just do another stroke. I think that's what I did here, was I just added a few more strokes to there, and that's why it feels more vibrant. The other part is if you want to go and you want to make your shadow a little bit thicker. So for example, this is a pretty thick line, is you can also do that, is just go back in, just make your shadow a little bit thicker.
It also might be time that has been, like the ink has been on the paper. May have changed color over time.
It totally could have, because this, yeah, the way it reacts to it and sinks in, that could also be it.
Settled, got comfortable,
Yeah,
cozy.
because you're exactly where yours.
Yeah, that ink is exactly where it needs to be.
Yes. Oh, that really, I really made that a lot more gold. But I just wanted to show that if you want to make it a thicker, you can. Okay. This was a really cool one. I'm really excited to see how you make this your own. We have a Facebook group called Let's Make Art Lettering. I'd love for you to join. I'd love for you to share and show what you create, also cheer each other on. We're here in this community together despite circumstances that might be keeping us apart. So I hope you are all safe and well, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.